Hi Whiz Kids and welcome back to Science with Sophie. I hope you're all doing really good. Today's first experiment, we are going to be looking at what happens when you mix milk and dish soap. So what you're going to need is some milk, some dish soap, a bowl, some food colouring so you can see the reaction, and some cotton buds. So let's get on with it. So the first step is to take your bowl and your milk and pour your milk into your bowl. You don't need too much, just enough so it fills the bottom of the bowl. And then you're going to add some drops of different food colourings. So you can add as many different food colourings as you want to this, as many different colours. The more, the better it'll look. I only have two. So we're just using two for this one, but it'll be great to see what you can do. So I'm first going to add some red. To add some yellow. So you don't want to mix anything, you just want to leave it as it is. And then we're on to the next step. I've got food colouring all over me. So the next step is to take your cotton bud and put some dish soap on it. Mix it all around on the thing. And then you're going to place it in your milk. So let's see what happens. Here's the bowl with my red and yellow. So let's see what happens when we put the cotton bud in there. So as you saw on that last clip, as soon as you put the cotton bud in with the dish soap, the colour moves out. Now the reason that this happens is that it's not actually the food colouring. We just add that in so that you can see what is happening with the milk, because milk's white so you can't really tell. So this happens because the milk has fat in it and it has protein in it. And when you put the dish soap into there, the dish soap and the fats and proteins don't get on with each other, don't like each other, and they do a chemical reaction. And in this chemical reaction, the fat, because it doesn't like the dish soap, moves away from it. So that's why the colours seem to move out. And when you start to move your cotton bud around, the colour still moves because it is the fat in the milk that they don't like. So there we have it. It will work better if you have milk which is whole fat. I use semi-skimmed. So if you use whole fat milk, it probably will work better than it did with this. But that was the first experiment, so let's go on to experiment 2. Experiment 2, we are going to be looking at different densities of liquid. Now, density is how heavy something is. So what you're going to need for this experiment is some honey, some water, and some oil. So let's get on with it. So your first step, you're going to take the honey and place it in the middle. And then you're going to take your water and you're going to pour it in to the honey. So as you can see, there are 2 layers that have come on here. So we have the honey layer and then a water layer. Now this is because water is lighter than honey, so that means that it just sits on top of it like the honey was solid, and obviously honey is actually a liquid. So let's see what happens when we pour some oil on top of the water. Whoa! She wants to say hello. No, she doesn't. I think she's shy. So anyway, so the oil then sits on top of the water, which looks really cool. So the oil sits on top of the water, and this is because oil is lighter than water. So it sits on water, just like the water does on honey. The oil sits on the water, like the water is like a solid surface, which is quite cool. So now, if you want to take this experiment a step further, you can try balancing different things into the different layers. So if you take something that's a bit heavier, like a grape, for example, and you pop it in, you can see which layer it sinks to, which will tell you how heavy a grape is. Or you could put the lid of a water bottle in there. Or just put any item that will fit in your glass and see what happens. I'll give you an example. So I've just taken the lid of the food colouring, and if you pop it in here, you can see that it actually hasn't sunk at all, which means this lid is lighter than oil, water and honey, which I think is really cool. So you need to try and put some different items in to see if you can find anything that's heavier than honey. That is my challenge for you. So that is everything for this week. I hope that you've enjoyed it and you have a good week, and I shall see you soon. Bye.